Right out of the box, your Sparrow X2 is ready to be a standard sewing machine. So let's look at those features first. The power cord and foot pedal both plug into the side of the machine. The power cord has a rounded and a square part. Make sure you have it aligned the correct way with the machine. And of course, the other end of the cord goes to the power. The foot pedal plugs in directly below it. The on and off switch is also on the side of the machine. Push it up to turn the machine on, and you will also see it light up. Technically, the foot pedal is optional because the machine has a start and stop button. The foot pedal is also not used in the embroidery mode. Above here, we have the hand wheel, also sometimes called the flywheel. When you turn it, you always make sure the top is going towards you. Next, on to the front of the machine. This is the speed control. Very fast to quite slow. This not only controls your regular sewing machine speed, it also controls the embroidery speed. From bottom to top, we have tension, stitch length, and stitch width. In order to access those different items, we use that button there, and we can adjust them with the plus and minus button here. You noticed it blinked right there? The blinking means that that is the optimal stitch length or stitch width, depending on which one you're on, for what you're doing. So this is a straight stitch, and it tells me that the optimal stitch length is 2.5, but I can certainly have it be other things. The same thing with the width. When I go up and come back down, it blinks at me when I get to the optimal stitch length, or the one it automatically selects. Over here, we have our stitch selector, this being number 1, and down here, we have these handy dandy guides that tell us what each stitch is. We also have a guide for the fancier feet, as well as a guide for any error codes or display codes that we need to know. These lights over here are also used when we are attaching the machine in embroidery mode to the app on your smart device. This is needle up, needle down. A quick tap of the foot pedal also allows you to reverse needle up and needle down. This is the thread cutter, which I'm not going to touch right now because I don't have any thread for it to cut. This is the tie off button, or it will move your embroidery hoop sideways and out of the way. And this is the reverse button. I'm going to drop a piece of fabric in just to be nicer to the machine. I don't have it threaded up yet. You can operate the reverse button by simply tapping it, and it'll go one stitch, or you can hold it and it will go quickly backwards. And this is the start and stop button. I'm going to press it and it will sew right away. Oh look, it gave me an error, LE. So I've opened up here, and LE means lower thread is broken or running out. Well, there's no thread in it, so that's a good error code to get. Next, we're going to look at the top of the machine. Let's start over here. This is the bobbin winding spool. Once you have put your thread on and properly put it through here, your bobbin will then go on here and push to the side to engage the bobbin winding action. You will still need to press start or use your foot pedal to wind the bobbin. Right here it says SP, which means it's ready to wind your bobbin. Make sure that your speed is center or low while you're winding for the best chance of a perfect bobbin. As your bobbin gets full, this part will help slow it down and stop it, but always keep an eye so that you can turn it off when it's ready. And then just pull your bobbin directly upward to take it off. Back here, this hole is for the vertical spool pin, which you use if you have thread that is wound in a horizontal fashion. And here is the felt pad that you put under it. This is our horizontal spool pin that's used for cross-wound thread. These guides here help you figure out where to put your thread when you're winding a bobbin, the dashed lines, or threading your machine, the solid lines. This right here is the presser foot pressure. It's quite a tongue twister, but basically thick fabric gets more pressure, thin fabric gets less pressure. But 0 should get you for almost every project. If you do need to adjust it, just spin it like this. So that would be for a very thick project. And if you are using super, super fine fabric, you certainly could go the other way. On the side of your machine over here, you do have a thread cutter, but you have an additional thread cutter right in there. Up front, I've already shown you, but this is the accessory area. And this whole part comes right off and allows you to use the free arm when going around sleeves or pant legs. Let's take a closer look at the stitching area. Right under the foot are things called feed dogs. I'm going to rotate the hand wheel so you can see how they go up and down. Think of sled dogs. Sled dogs pull and feed dogs pull. If you're doing something like free motion embroidery where you don't want the feed dogs, the adjustment for them is right down here. Push this way to lower the feed dogs and push back this way to raise them. You will need to take 1 stitch for those feed dogs to come back up. Up here we have a push down that's used when making buttonholes. It's easy to bump it when you are using the automatic needle threader. So if you're having any problems with your machine, just check to make sure that's pushed all the way up. This is the automatic needle threader, which I'll show you how to use in just a little bit. This is the sewing machine foot. You can change them out by pressing the back here, and the foot will drop off. All you have to do to reconnect it is put it in line and set the foot down on it. This is the needle and the needle bar. When you're ready to take a needle out, you're going to hold the needle and then unscrew there, replace the needle, and then retighten. The end of this has a slit, which allows you to use that small L screwdriver to help you get it out and to tighten it enough so it doesn't fall out while you're sewing. This is the presser foot lifter. You're going to use it a lot. Figure out where it is and what feels comfortable to you. You can use it with this hand, moving it up and down, or some people prefer reaching around the back to move it. This machine will not let you sew with the presser foot up, and it will give you an error. Let's check it out. My presser foot is up, and I'm going to try to sew. Nope, I get an E1 error. And if I go over to my handy dandy guide, E1 means presser foot lifter is in the wrong position. In this case, it's up, when it should be down. There we go. On the front of the machine here is a light. Green light means go, or as in the machine is ready to go. Yellow or red lights have other meanings, but generally mean the machine is not able to sew right now. The green light can also represent if your bobbin has run out or your upper thread has broken. The machine will stop the motor and will blink 3 times before it goes back to a constant green.